Welcome to the Juice Pro Wrestling Podcast. Unfortunately, this week you were misled. You were led astray. I told you were going to get visual stimulation, and instead you received nothing. Why is that, you ask? Well, I'd like to fill you in on why I was not able to provide you with the substantial visual stimulation that you so desire from Juice Pro Wrestling. That for the longest time, you guys have been clamoring and asking and tweeting, hey, Juice, why is there no visual stimulation? And maybe it's because there's been a little too much Coors Banquet beer. It's a great beer. It's really good. It's really delicious. I cannot give you that answer right now. All I can tell you is that I fucked up. And I'm sorry. But I'm not. And soon enough, you will get more than what you asked for. So be careful what you wish for, because the Juice Man cometh. Thank you.
And I'll be very honest with you, Gary, and no disrespect towards you, Mr. Matsuda, I think that this man is without question, next to a Nissan 300ZX Turbo, the greatest product to ever come out of the Orient, ever.
You know what proves your point so clear? None of you Gaijin Americans have the guts to get in the ring with him. So all you Gaijins, come and try him.
You're a handsome devil. That's all they deserve. Thanks for coming on the Danger
You know
Zone.
what Gaijin is, don't
Of
you?
course I do. I'm a smart guy. See you next week.
All right.
Juice.
What's a gaijin? I know what it is, but do you guys know?
Yeah. It's like a gringo. It's a white guy in Japan.
It's a foreigner.
Yeah.
A gringo.
Pinata! Barbecue!
We got good old JR on the show. How you doing, JR?
Oh my God, my back hurts!
Oklahoma.
That shit ain't funny, motherfucker.
I heard that.
I heard what you said about Jim Ross.
Your mother's got a wood leg with a kickstand, motherfucker.
She got one arm and swims in circles.
Your mother's got a mouth on the back of her neck and the big shoes like this.
Oh, yes. Yes, she does.
What's going on, Juice?
Not a whole hell of a lot.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm willing and able to get fucking rowdy tonight because I'm super excited.
Like rowdy as in rowdy Roddy?
No, but yes.
Rowdy.
I can tell with that orange cap you got on.
That orange cap, man. It's a sign. It's a sign
I
of.
saw the sign.
And it opened up my thighs. I love some guys. Let me kick it in with the usual real quick, right quick, brothers. Welcome everybody to Juice Pro Wrestling episode 36. Season of the Mist.
Season of the Mist.
Tonight we pay tribute and homage to one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and not just one of my favorite wrestlers, one of the guys who I think is probably the best wrestler to ever come out of Japan. And I know that's a tough thing. You know, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this because nowadays with New Japan being as big as it is, I don't think there's anybody as influential as this guy. I'm talking, of course, about the one and only Great Muta.
The Great Muta.
Keshimuto. The Great Muta is by far like his whole look, his gimmick. He was billed as the guy, the son of, for those of you out there who know your old school wrestling, the Great Kabuki. The Great Kabuki was a guy as Nickosis.
Kabuki.
Yeah, as he's blowing that stank all over.
And this time, hit him with some stank.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, let me introduce who we got in the studio. We did a little bit of pregame and Too Hard for recorded tonight, so
You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
with the juice tonight, as always, or at least most of the time, is the GM, Big Ed the Assassin. What up, brother?
What up, Juice Willis?
Not shit.
Willis?
We also got off camera. You can't see because he's such a mystery.
I'm a mist. I'm in the mist.
He's a masked man.
He's a masked man.
Nickosis, what's up?
What up, Juice?
Not Shiza.
Shiza.
Yeah, but getting back to what I was saying, episode 36, it's all about the Great Muta tonight. We're going to throw in a little bit of news and whatnot, but our main focus is on the master of many martial arts styles and catch can
Hey, now.
wrestling.
Is he the Bruce Lee of wrestling?
Catches.
I want to say, well, I don't know. You can't really say that. I mean,
Is he the Jet Li of wrestling?
maybe.
The Jackie
Because I think the
Chan?
Bruce Lee of
Is he the
wrestling to
Jackie
me
Chan?
is Ricky the Dragon
Oh, yeah.
by far.
The Bruce Lee of wrestling is Ricky the Dragon?
Because he just reminded me of Ricky the Dragon. Steamboat reminded me of
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee mixed with Rambo.
Yeah, I agree with that statement, but.
Yeah.
Hard but.
The Bruce Lee.
Hard butts. I'm an ass man.
That's right. That's right. I like to hug him.
I like to move it. Hey, you guys want to know what's getting us riled up tonight? Some Three Floyds Alpha Claws. We also have
Son of Juice.
that's right. Not the Durs, by the way. And we also got some Coors Original Banquet in these fancy cans. Hey, look at this shit. Look at this dick. Look at this
It's
dick.
a little Festivus.
yeah.
Some Festivus.
Yeah, we're having a good time tonight, and we want you guys to have a good time and join us as we talk about the Great Muta.
We are here and recording with the late night sessions.
Oh, it's getting pretty late here in the Green Door Studios.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
How's everything going at the Green Door now that it's past our normal recording time?
It's doing great. There ain't nobody out in the town. I think they're showing at the Art Theater as It's a Wonderful Life, and I have to fucking say, yeah, it's pretty fucking wonderful.
Somebody!
All right, let's get back on track here before you guys fucking derail me permanently.
We are good at that.
It's also cool because we're in December now. We're in our second show of the month of December, the end of the year. I want to throw a early birthday shout out to the Great Muta, who was born on December 23rd of 1962. So he's got a B-Day coming up.
Yes, he does.
We also just had a birthday for Sabu. Yeah.
He's suicidal,
Homicidal.
genocidal.
Homicidal.
I don't know where that one was going.
Dude, I don't want to get off track, but
Yeah.
because you gave him a birthday shout out,
Yeah.
I honestly enjoyed when the arena went black and Sabu appeared staring at this pointing up to
Oh,
the
yeah.
ceiling more than I liked Undertaker. I'm saying it. I don't
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
No, dude. And for as many botches as Sabu had, he was quite the innovator. But that's another day, another time.
It was. Let's go.
And that's coming out soon.
Muta.
Keshimuto, as he, like I said, is born December 23rd, 1962. Japanese professional wrestler, gained major international fame with the NWA, who is on a resurgence right now with Billy Corgan at the helm as owner, CEO of operations. That would be cool if they actually brought him back to do some shit.
And who is Billy Corgan, by the way?
The singer of the Smashing Pumpkins.
Despite all my range, I still just riding a cage.
I think he's got his hands in everything, doesn't he?
Not me.
Got him on those.
I'd like him to though.
It's a lot of fingers.
Just to kind of, for those of you out there who don't know, I think Muta is kind of underappreciated as far as the wrestling community goes. I mean, you don't hear too much about him because he never had a WWF or WWE run. He was really big in the NWA, WCW in the late 80s, early 90s. He had a good run there. And even the late 90s when he tag teamed with Vampiro. And unfortunately, the fucking ICP when they were the Dark Carnival.
Yeah.
Stink Malenko.
Dean Malenko.
Yeah, right. His gimmick, though, is probably one of the most influential gimmicks in wrestling as far as the Japanese culture goes. There were a lot of people that emulated him. As of late, in TNA a few years ago was Sonata, who is actually a member of Evil in New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. He was known as the Great Sonata in TNA. He was like kind of, what would you call that? What's the student of the Great Muta?
Like a protege.
Yeah. And we all know, going back to our ECW roots, Tajiri, the Japanese buzzsaw, where to get that mist from.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the Great Muta is been so influential in like ways like that. And like I said, his whole story gimmick, like the character of the Great Muta he was based as the son of the Great Kabuki, and who was another guy who did the mist. And there's actually some really cool videos if you guys go on YouTube and check it out of Kabuki, Muta, and Tajiri doing the mist together in unison. The Triple S.
Triple Mist!
Yeah, it's really awesome. You guys should check it out. But he also made his mark in New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Japan Pro Wrestling, where he held. We're on video. I'm gonna fuck up. There you go.
Fucked up. You fucked up.
Then I fucked you. He held multiple titles in those organizations, and he's also started the Wrestle One promotion in Japan, which did a lot of interpromotional stuff with TNA, and which is why they got to use Sonata and some other talent from there. They had a working relationship before, like I'd say, like a good year or so before TNA was bought out and became Impact Wrestling, or was rebranded, I should say. Here's another thing I really want to stress out there, like how much his moveset means in the world of professional wrestling nowadays, and just the way he moved in the ring, because he had like, and I'm glad we got the video now, he would go through and do his moves. If people watch a lot of like Austin Aries stuff when he does like his flips and does these weird like just these really quirk jerks and like elbow drops, and Muta made that famous. And the Muta lock was another huge move. It's basically like an inverted STF. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's AJ Styles does it all the time. That move where he's kind of bent backwards, you know, and it grabs the guy in the headlock and he's got his legs locked up. That's the fucking Muta lock, dude. He made that famous, you know. And then of course the Green Mist, which as a kid growing up, dude, like
that was so cool.
It was so badass. And he would come
Seeing
out.
It, you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
how'd
dude.
that happen?
And he would come out in these get-ups, like look like some kind of dark ninja. And he would have like a huge gold skull right here, and then wrapping around would be like a cobra coming out, and he just looked so fucking tough. And then when he took that off,
it was the poison mist.
Yeah, the poison mist, that pussy mist.
It was toxic.
He just looked so badass too, even when he ripped off all the garbs and everything, and he had like the badass face paint on, you know. And I was watching an interview earlier with Gary Hart. When he was explaining, it was on the old segment with Terry Funk. He had like his little talk show segment called Funk's Grill. It was actually pretty awesome. They're both fluffing each other up. Like Muta never really talked because his English wasn't that good. But so Gary Hart, who was probably one of the greatest old school managers of all time, was doing all the talking for Muta, and he's like, you know, when he sprays that mist, that's Terry. He could spray that on your hands, and you'll have the power of the samurai and all this, like their souls and all this shit. It's super cool stuff, but it was just funny to see like Terry Funk with the Muta on there and like Funk's Grill. Like there was some shitty neon lights in the background. Like, welcome to Funk's Grill, everybody. Great Muta though. Getting back to his moveset though, the quirkiness, the twitchiness of like he just had like this weird like almost like
jerkiness, like a jerkiness,
like almost it kind of reminds me of like where like the Ring, like those Japanese horror films where you get like the weird girl coming out, she's just moving all like creepy and shit, and that's kind of what it reminded me of. So seeing him as a kid like that, and he had like the killer face paint and with the mist, and this guy he was fucking cut, he was built, and he was a legit black belt, and I don't know if it was judo or what the hell art it was. So you guys can body shame me on that.
Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't Kung Fu. That was a Nintendo game, you bastard.
It was. But it was also a TV show.
Yeah, it was. And then the legend continued.
Yeah.
And then he hung himself while he was jerking off.
Oh, that's messed up.
David Carradine.
Shout out to David Carradine.
Kill Bill, he did. Oh, that's so great. But another one of Muta's moves that really has taken off, and a lot of people have used the Shining Wizard, dude. That knee strike, and the Kinshasa that Shinsuke Nakamura uses is, that's an homage to the Shining Wizard, dude. Shit stain Nakamura. Honestly though, it's a badass move, dude. It's been emulated by other people, and it's never been perfected like the Muta. Because like I remember as a young kid and like seeing that, it's like, damn man, that's just fucking devastating. Like the running knee, and there were times with the Muta, he would kind of return. Well, he came out as a Great Muta, right? And then as years go by after WCW in his first run, he would kind of go back and forth between his actual real name, which I'm probably going to butcher, the Kejimuto or Muta, however you say it, which was he didn't wear a mask or anything. He'd come out and throwing up the fucking, the rock star, or however you want to interpret it, the Dio shit. And you! The mob rules! Ride the tiger! You can see his stripes, but you know he's mean! Shout out to Ronnie James Dio, we love you. But he was doing shit like that, and it was so amazing. And dude, there's one thing I'd really like to bring up that most people may or may not know. As far as like if you're a big fan of ECW or death matches.
Did someone say EC-Dub, 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 EC-Dub?
There's a thing called the Muta scale, where now it was such a bloody match that he had against man, what's his name? I can't think of it right now. It's Hiroshi Hase, I think is how you say it. This match was just super violent, super bloody, and super stiff.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
bloody, super
But you
stiff.
guys can go on YouTube and check that out. I've seen it in a couple places where they got it busted up in the segments, but just a supremely bloody match, dude. And from that came the Muta scale, which is now what people judge how bloody match. When people get busted open, I mean, come on, if you create a scale that tells you how violent this shit got,
Yep.
And Muta was super believable with this shit too, because he was a legit martial artist, dude, and he was so quick, and like I said, that twitchiness he had in his moveset, it was something different that you don't really see. And like I said, you can see a lot of that in Austin Aries. The way he moves about the ring and does some of his moves is very Muta-esque. So for me, that would be, a dream match like Austin Aries versus the Great Muta would be the shit.
Did you prefer more an NWA or WCW?
Well, they basically became one, so I can't say preferred one or the other. Like I said, though, the only unfortunate thing is we never got to see him in WWF or WWE. Maybe that's unfortunate. Who knows? We all have seen what they do to other wrestlers from other companies. Get the fuck out! But he had some great matches, even in late. A lot of his rivalries with like guys like Sting, Ric Flair. He's an ex NWA heavyweight champion. He's an ex New Japan heavyweight champion. I think he won the championship too with All Japan. I mean, he's even fought Shinsuke Nakamura. Shitstain Nakamura. Muta's been around for a long fucking time. I don't know how much he's really doing right now, wrestling wise. I'm sure he still goes out and does his thing. The last televised stuff I can really remember seeing was his latest run in TNA a few years ago, which I thought was awesome because anytime you get to see that dude fucking perform, it's just like, wow, this dude has influenced so many wrestlers, and not just out here, but in Japan. He was really the first major Japanese superstar to cross over, and even when they tried to make him heel, it was hard for people to boo him. He couldn't get that heel heat, because he was just so fucking cool. It's like, dude, look at this guy.
He was over too, though.
Yeah, dude, he was
time.
over, and he was silent. And he was just like the silent ninja. He had that fucking. He always do this, and like the Vampiro. Yeah. He's another guy who took from Muta and even teamed with Muta. Like we were talking about with the ICP in late WCW, and I think they became the tag champs. I think they only held it for like a week, but and that sucked too because that's when Muta started to go bald, and I was like, God damn it, that's like Sting, for example, when he was, he's coming back he's in TNA, right? His hair looks good. A couple of years go by, it's like, damn, man, as he's wrestling, you start to see a bald spot in the back. It's like, oh,
Sabu.
man.
Remember Sabu with the TNA?
Yeah, Hardcore Justice.
That was. I was like,
but he's grown his hair back out, and I've seen him in a couple matches, and he's still. It's like whatever. You deal with your mortality, but it's just that's the thing that sucks with wrestling, man. Is like, these guys are larger than life characters. They're almost like Greek gods and myths in a way, And so when you see them, start to age and all this shit, it's a little bit of a letdown. But I'll tell you what, even though he went bald, Muta still stayed in great shape. Yeah. I mean, he's always had a good body. I listened to a shoot interview Ric Flair was talking about with Muta, and he had nothing bad to say about the guy. He was like, man, he was a great worker, didn't speak much English, but the guy he learned real quick. He was super good in the ring, and, made some money with him.
Did you just say something about Ric Flair?
Oh, the nature boy in the studio. What's going on, Rick?
Oh, nothing. What's going on with you, Juice? I'm going to tell you right now, I was a member of the greatest group of men that ever walked God's green earth.
Who was that group?
The Four Horsemen.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, Rick. You know the NWO is the best.
Woo! I don't think so, Juice.
Rick, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Little shout out to Eazy-E on that one. Since we're speaking of cliques, and I'm glad you brought that up in groups and whatnot, you know who Great Muta ended up being the head of, right?
The head of
NWO Japan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Masahiro Chono. They had some good feuds over there. But, yeah, I loved it. In his face paint, it was like all black, and it just had the NWO, and then under the chin strap, it'd say New World Order, dude. Like, how badass was that,
NWO Japan.
Yeah. De Japan.
I'll tell you what, Muta was in great shape, too.
Dude, he was. And he can go, and even still, like, watching him in TNA a few years ago, it's like, damn, dude, the guy still got it. Another huge move, like back in the day. I mean, people might not think too much of it now because now it's like a given, and dudes are doing the flippy dippy and spot monkeys, all over everything,
jumping over everything.
But dude, the moonsault. I mean, he was doing it at a time where there wasn't very much of that, and that's
he was fucking 200 and God knows how much pounds.
Yeah, Muta wasn't a small guy. He was definitely a heavyweight. He was I'd say at least probably like 230.
I would say 240.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Actually, I think we have his build weight.
That's a lot of movement for that. That's a lot of meat falling.
You can't handle all that meat, can you? I actually don't know what his build weight was. So, here it is. 243 pounds.
Damn, I'm right on.
Yeah.
I studied.
I stuttered while you studied.
Does Muta still wrestles?
Yeah, he's still around.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as active as he was in the past.
He's 50-something years old.
Yeah, he's 55 right now, about to be 56.
Yeah.
But another thing, too, in the evolution of his costume, Muta had some great fucking attire, like some shit that looked just super cool, you know, straight out of like a comic book or something. As he got older, you know, he lost his hair. He started to do more of a mask. It was like these weird, they almost look like
Kabuki masks?
Kabuki? No, not a fucking Kabuki mask. I couldn't even explain it. They look like something made out of a movie. Like it was like some movie prop shit. Like it would cover his whole face. He'd have like just this part out here in his chin, and it, you know, still do the mist. And he had like a tube, like a Bane tube coming out the back of his head.
Yeah.
Like just something to make him look not human,
Like
you know?
like cyborg type.
Yeah. He had a lot of really cool masks too, man. Like,
I could make those.
yeah, you better make them right now.
He did have the
Mush!
crazy. He had the crazy mask, almost look like alien-ish type.
Yeah. He had a lot of good shit, man.
Dope.
But yeah, sad to say, we'll never see Muta in the WWE. But here's the thing: I think,
That's okay.
in my opinion, WWE Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall
That's
of Famer.
what I was just gonna say. Does he make it to the WWE Hall of Fame?
He should. And I don't, you know, of course, with them owning the rights to a lot of his footage, like old school WCW and NWA and whatnot, he's got to get in.
Should be.
He should be. I mean, like I said, there would. It's hard to say there wouldn't be like a Shinsuke Nakamura or any of these other huge Japanese stars without Muta, but he really did bust down doors and break down barriers for guys coming over from the Orient to the U.S. trying to make a name and make money.
He had, you know what, I'm going to tell you, one of the masks, I just pulled it up,
Mm-hmm.
that he had, it almost looked like claws, like a claw going around his entire head.
Yeah, he had some really cool shit, dude.
Yeah, man.
Like something that like Greg Nicotero, like K&B Effects Group or something did, you know, like some badass shit. You know, but Muta's worked everywhere, man. He's like I said, right now I think he's still with his own promotion, the Wrestle One. That's the main thing he's doing right now. And I just, man, hey, we love you, Muta. You're fucking the shit.
You think he'll, do you think with Cody and the Young Bucks, you think he might you think he might come make appearances or no?
It's hard to say. You know, I would love for that to happen, but of course everything has to work out storyline wise, you know. And those guys are very story driven. I don't know if they would necessarily even have Muta in their thoughts as far as for what they're writing or anything, but I would just love to see him again on a premiere stage. That's why I was so pumped, like when he was with TNA a couple years ago. I was like, God damn, man. And they were wrestling at, God, what's that place where they did ECW One Night Stand in New York?
Madison
Oh,
Square.
No, not Madison Square Garden.
Ballroom,
Yeah, it's a little ballroom. What the hell is that goddamn name? Thank you, Three Floyds, for
Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yeah.
There you go.
They were doing shows there, and that's when he came back. And I think like James Storm went heel at that time and like busted a bottle over his head or some shit like that. And that's when he had Sonata with him, and there was the Great Sonata. And then James Storm made him turn on fucking Muta and all that. But yeah, I just, like I said, I'm really super psyched about this guy as a wrestler. Period. I can't say enough good things about him because as a kid, he got me super pumped up, and I was like, man, this dude is a fucking, what is he? He's like some Japanese ghost or whatever. I didn't know how to explain
Japanese buzzsaw.
Yeah. Hey, man, there might not be no Tajiri.
I know, exactly.
Without Muta, so there's a lot of credit due to the Great Muta that I don't think he really gets, and it's a shame.
Yep.
It's a damn shame.
Oh, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame, isn't it? Isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
yeah.
a damn shame.
Yeah, for
Now,
sure.
He I don't know. I mean, do you think he was an inventor of a lot of those moves too, or at least
Yeah.
he influenced a lot of
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
For sure.
The Muta lock for sure. I mean, the moonsault. I don't know who was the first guy ever doing moonsault, but for me, he was the guy that popularized it. You know, as a kid, it was like, damn, it's like fuck, Muta's gonna do the moonsault. Yeah, I'm totally down. And then the mist. That's one of the coolest things in fucking wrestling. Like, yeah, Kabuki had started it, and I don't know if there was anybody before him or not, but I mean, hot damn, man.
Who used to do the mist in WWF back in the day?
Tajiri.
No.
Oh, where they had Hakushi?
Yeah.
Was that where he had all the tattoos going down his whole body and all that? The painted on tattoos?
Yep.
At least I think they were painted on. I hope they're not permanent. How you gonna get a job? Blowjobs are the only jobs for me because I have a tattoo on my face.
Hey, let me ask you this: Did
Yes.
did Muta ever fight Masato Tanaka?
Not that I know of.
That would have been a good fight.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
You know, that would have been a really good fight. Tanaka's a bigger guy. You know, I think he's probably. What he's got, probably 20, 30 pounds maybe. Maybe 20 pounds on Muta.
Mm-hmm.
But, Tanaka was great. I think that would have been a good fight.
Yeah.
Tajiri and Muta would have been a great fight.
They've tagged a bunch of times. I'm sure they've probably feuded too.
Yeah.
And Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 3 of the 500 best when they do the PWI 500 singles wrestlers in 2002. Which is kind of weird because, that was, okay, so WCW's over, so he's back over in Japan doing his thing and having some kick-ass matches. To get number 3 on that list, it's pretty damn high. He was also ranked him number 25 of the top 500 singles wrestlers in 2003. So that's not bad,
Yeah, not bad at all, man.
Especially for his age.
Oh, yeah, dude. Even then he was older, so we're talking...
Yeah.
Well, he's 55 now, and we're talking, 18 years ago?
He's not no young buck, you know what I mean?
He was no spring chicken and no blessings.
And he debuted in 84.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Talk about a long career.
He's had probably the longest Japanese tenured wrestler out in the States, you know?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
For sure. And I would say definitely the most fucking over. Like, I couldn't even imagine if he showed up. The perfect... real quick dream booking scenario, if he was to go to We Were Entertainment, WWE, he'd have to pop up for me at NXT.
Yeah.
Because even though he should be on the main roster, I just think there would be a better suited storyline and matchup on there. Like they had Jushin Thunder Liger did a one-off match there, and it's fucking awesome just to see him come in, have a match, and that's it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
For those of you out there who are familiar with the Wrestling Observer newsletter and, should we say his name? Dave Meltzer. Everybody always rags on him because he's, like, huge in all the Japanese wrestlers. But, whatever. The Best Wrestling Maneuver Award of 2001 went to the Muta for the Shining Wizard. He had the Match of the Year in 2001 versus Tenryu on June 8th in Tokyo, Japan. He was the most improved wrestler that year, as well as Wrestler of the Year in 2001 and the Reader's Favorite Wrestler in 2001. He also was in the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame class of 1999. He had a 5-star match in 1987, too.
Now, and you were talking about earlier how some of those matches, they rate them like how bloody they are based off that Muta match with that death match.
Yeah.
Was that Great Muta versus Great Nita?
No.
That wasn't that. Which match was that?
That was a Hiroshi Hase, or however you say his name. I hate when the guys have foreign names and I butcher the hell out of them. But no, yeah, that was who he actually ended up tagging with on several times. So that's kind of strange.
Yeah, and that's nuts. And I'm trying to look up that match now so I can kind of see it. Because that was later in his career.
Mm-hmm.
That was in New Japan. It says Great Muta versus Hiroshi Hase, New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in 1992. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. I think about I think about around that time.
It's just unbelievable.
The Crimson Mask, let it flow.
Well, it's just crazy that when you just kind of look back and you're like, man, he really did influence. Man, he influenced a lot of it. You know?
And he was trained by Hiro Matsuda, who also trained the Immortal Koga. Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
Mm-hmm. And he debuted in '84, a day after my birthday. How fucking awesome is that?
No shit.
Against Masahiro Chono. Remember Masahiro Chono in WCW? He was in the NWO Japan. But he was always like the Japanese wrestler WCW had back when there was like the Nitro. You know what I'm talking about, Nickosis?
That's right.
Yeah, Masahiro Chono.
Dude, he is gushing blood in this match.
Oh yeah,
this is crazy.
It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, how did he not pass out?
Because he's the fucking Muta, man. Yeah.
Has he had any bloody matches? Did he ever fight in ECW? Did he ever do anything in ECW?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah.
Muta was never an ECW guy.
Yeah.
I think, because when WCW folded, there was he had a no-compete clause or some shit that he couldn't go to WWF after his contract ended. Like when the company
a few
folded.
people had that.
Yeah.
That no.
Was there something like that, or to where he had already had a contract but he was getting paid enough to not do anything?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was more the no compete clause. I could be wrong. You know, those of you who were there know. Those of you that weren't like us, you're fucking speculate. You know, spackle and speculate.
Speculate.
It's time for the speculator.
Spackle my love tackle.
Speculator.
Time for the speculator. Why does it sound like Popeye?
And you know what's crazy too is you watch some of those matches too, and it's like, man, some of those moves that are, you know, quote unquote finishers now or became finishers, like they weren't back in the day when in the Japan wrestling, you know,
Right.
the power bomb and stuff like that.
Right.
Like
They were just in the match,
They were just
dude.
in
Like
the
it
match,
was,
yes.
and that's what made a lot of those matches so fucking badass, dude.
Yep.
I mean, he's had some good matches too, like even against guys like Big Van Vader. Rest in
Yeah.
peace, you know.
Rip.
Him and Saito were the tag team, and they fought guys like the Steiner brothers. There's so many. The dog face Gremlin. So many great matches. Muta, man, come on. Even I think Brian Pillman, Too Cold Scorpio, and this was during WCW days. So we're talking. Let's see here. Wrestled Sting at a house show, and Steve Austin. And on December 28th, he made his fourth successive Starrcade appearance, teaming with Barry Windham. Yeah.
What?
What? To defeat Flying Brian Pillman and Too Cold Scorpio. Both guys, well, it says later that night, Muta was eliminated Windham to win the Starrcade 92 Battle Bowl. So that's cool. Oh, and here's a funny thing for you. For those of you guys, there's a meme going around. It's like a GIF, too, if you look up the Great Muta when he fought Hogan in New Japan back in the day.
Yeah, I just looked at that.
Yeah, where he's running down the ramp, dude. He gets out of the ring, and dude, back then, that was, you know how the stage that you like when the ramp had like the old ECW, and it's super fucking long, dude. And he gets out the ring, and he just runs the whole distance. And fucking, what's it, a clothesline? Did he end up clotheslining Hogan or some shit happened? But dude, he was a running fool.
He was running
Running with the devil.
Who won the Hogan Muta match?
Come on now.
I am a man.
Invading your land to take everything.
Fight once before what's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, dude. I mean, come on, Muta. It's fighting Hogan, man. The biggest guy ever in our sport.
In the sport.
Ever. Man.
Icon.
I'm watching that now, and both of their hands get stuck in the rope as they go over.
Yeah, they do. There was kind of a little botch. It's still a good match. You guys should go check it out. That match, if you guys have New Japan World and you subscribe to that, you can check it out because it's not going to be on WWE Network. No. Wah. Whoa.
You know, it sucks. That's a lot of good wrestling, man, that they're missing out on. You know, there's a ton of good wrestling.
Well, but I mean that's shit that, you know, it's trademarked. It's New Japan shit. They're not gonna. WWE's not gonna purchase their tape library.
Not unless they buy the whole damn shaboodle.
Yeah, and that's not gonna happen. New Japan's really breaking in strong in America, and they got some more shows coming up in 2019, California and somewhere else.
California.
No dawn born it. California. Typical to the homeless in the city.
So we've been talking about Muta.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on on Friday?
Friday night. Well, I mean, who knows when this is going to air? So we might have just botched ourselves.
Friday the 14th.
The 14th. Ooh.
The Friday,
ROH
the
final
14th
battle
of December
Yeah.
to Dismember.
Yeah, throwing that. I like that.
I dig it.
Yeah, you got the ROH final battle. Black Machismo, yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
Where's the snake?
Speaking of which, hey, Macho Man, what do you think about tomorrow night?
Ooh, let me tell you a little something about tomorrow night and what's gonna go on. Yeah, I'm gonna fight Cody Rhodes, the son of the plumber. Yeah, I'm gonna take him to the limit. I'm gonna take his title. Yeah, dig it.
So, once you get deep into the match and you've got Cody beat,
When you see him going deep, you know I gotta dig real deep, get right in the thick of things. Yeah.
and how are you gonna beat him?
Oh, I'm gonna beat him with my dick real hard, real stiff.
All right, a little inappropriate, but thank you, Macho Man.
Oh yeah, anytime, man. Yeah, dig it.
That's gonna be a good card.
Yeah. There's a lot of good matches. There's a ladder war match, I believe. The Young Bucks are involved in, and it's gonna be off the hook, dude. There's a lot of story implications of what's gonna happen now with the Young Bucks, the Elite, all those guys potentially leaving New Japan and ROH and starting their own promotion, which I haven't necessarily talked about much. So here's a good segue into that right now. The All Elite Wrestling. Yeah. Break the wall down! Bring him down! You like that? My shitty baby style Chris Jericho shit?
Dig it.
Dig it! Anyways, yeah, so ROH Final Battle. It's going to happen on Friday, and it's going to fucking push it to the limit. Limit! It's going to walk along the razor's edge. Hey, yo.
Hey yo. Hey yo, Juice.
Yeah.
What's going on, Juice? How you doing?
Not a damn thing.
Have you ever tried my boy Dallas's yoga?
Me and Dolly.
Me and Dolly.
I think we're going to win that one. We can't do that.
Yeah, Dolly.
Yeah. Me and Dolly were like hanging out. That's right, folks. We were hanging out here at Tom Lodge's studio, and we're just rocking and a bebopping and cutting it up.
That was intense.
Yeah. So get back to what I was saying, though. All Elite Wrestling, there's this rumor going around. There's been a lot of trademarks filed about Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Raka Khan. No, that's not his real name. Whoever is, I think he's like half owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like I was telling you guys earlier before we went on air, he's like got three times as much money as the WWE.
Dude, he walks into places like this. Dude.
Yeah.
Money,
Yeah.
money.
Oh, Shrek, cue that Ted DiBiase for me, baby.
I love it.
So they've filed trademarks for things like Tuesday Night Dynamite, All Elite Wrestling, All Out, which would be a sequel to All In. The potential is limitless with what's going on with these guys. You don't know, because the rumor is it's supposed to be like Young Bucks, Jericho, Cody, Jim Ross starting their own promotion. Yeah. And of course, Jericho, maybe he's trolling everybody, which he's super good at, is denying all this shit. But I mean, hey,
it's Jericho, man, he's a showman, dude.
Yeah, you can't let the cat out the bag just yet. But Cody's been hitting that shit for a long time, and all of those guys. I mean, so we could potentially see Kenny Omega and everybody who's in the Elite, who's a huge fucking star right now, leave and start something big. I mean, we could be potentially seeing what could be the equivalent to a Monday Night War type scenario, where you have another huge ass company that's going to have the buying power to be able to, like, hey, come over here. We got the money. We have the talent. We got the, the storylines. Because those guys, dude, if you guys watch Being the Elite every week, the Young Bucks, the way that, dude, they were telling stories. The story they're telling right now about ROH Final Battle 2018 and like Triple H trying to buy them guys out and bring them the WWE. Like, go back and watch BT episodes from a year ago. This storyline has played out for a fucking year, and it's like crazy because you don't get that much in wrestling anymore.
Nope.
There's in feuds in WWE, you might see the same guys wrestle each other every fucking week, but there's no story to it. It's just like, well,
Where's the story?
yeah, we'll throw, let's do Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre for the 15th time. And they'll just deal with it because that's what they want.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, right?
You will lose.
Yeah.
I will break you.
I will break you, then I will fuck you.
I don't give fuck.
So that's that's one of the big things that we're looking at in 2019, especially after this pay-per-view. Like, is it going to give us any kind of insight as to where these guys are going and what they're doing? I don't know. You guys are going to have to watch. You can get that on the Fight app. ROH has the Honor Club. I'm sure you can purchase it there if you remember. But yeah, check that out. And then also in January, dude, we got the Wrestle Kingdom 13. That's Chris Jericho. Yeah. Chris Jericho is going to be there defending the IWGP Intercontinental title against Naito. You got Kenny Omega defending his IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be fucking...
Who's he? Do you know who he's fighting?
Yeah, Tanahashi.
It doesn't matter who is fighting, jabroni.
It doesn't matter if you like poontang pie.
Hey, Juice, it's Scott. I got one more thing to say.
Yeah, what's up,
before I
Scott?
leave. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad guys don't last, but bad guys do.
You just said bad guys don't last, but bad guys do.
I meant to say bad guys.
Scott, put the Three Floyds down. You're in recovery, brother. I said recovery.
Hey, Dolly, hand me one of those brewskis.
One of those Teddy Brewskis.
Those Teddy Rexpins?
Yeah, Teddy Ruxpins.
Remember that? Terry Ruxpin.
It wasn't Terry Ruxpin. Did you say Terry Ruxpin? Nickosis.
Terry Bridgewater.
He's been traveling those Colorado Rockies too long with the Coors banquets.
Been on that train, you know what I'm saying?
On the train.
Boom. Boom. Pivot ain't easy.
Dude, I like that gimmick. I don't care.
Yeah, the Godfather.
Yeah,
It was great.
a great gimmick.
I like Papa Shango a little better though.
Yeah, Shango was awesome.
Yeah.
But you want to know what? He had two for not being like a headliner. He had two really cool gimmicks. You know, I thought the Godfather.
They were all way better than Kama Mustafa, the Ultimate Fighting Machine. They tried to capitalize early on that UFC shit. You know, like this guy's Ultimate Fighter. He'll take it to the limit. Push it to the limit.
Yeah.
Limit.
You didn't like the Good Father?
The good one, oh, with the rights to censor? No. No, I did not.
Stevie Richards?
No. Stevie Richards Nicks. Stevie Nicks Richards.
Stevie Scum?
Stevie Ray Scum.
No thanks.
No, not at all.
So what do you think after the I mean this will air after the fights, but what do you think about the card on the 14th?
It's a good card. Just off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you what's going on.
You going to call it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
It's easily going to be a thumbs up. ROH always delivers, dude. It's not like we're sitting here like debating and reviewing a WWE pay-per-view, which is also happening on Sunday. We have tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh my.
Yeah.
TLC. Did you just say TLC?
Yeah, I'm so pumped to see Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax.
Who?
The irresistible force, as they call her.
I'm not a monster.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to get into that. You have Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan, I kind of like his heel persona right now. I think it's kind of cool for him. It's refreshing.
It's a breath.
Yeah. It's a breath of stank air. No, I do like heel Daniel Bryan. What did he say? He was on SmackDown a week or two ago, and he was like, someone was, because I think he like kicked AJ in the balls for like the millionth time. That dude's dick has been abused so much. He hasn't got a dick like Joey Ryan. It ain't made of steel. It ain't fucking flexing. Joey Ryan's dick looks like Scott Steiner's arms. Who got the best body? Yeah! Me and my brother, Joey Ryan! Got big! You're fat! Yeah!
and I'm about 75%, and he's about 33% and a third, and that makes us
Naked Gun, 33 and a third. Leslie Nielsen and my brother. I love the Steiner shit. It's great. It's so
awkward.
great.
There's such awkward promos, but they're awesome.
Yeah, I love that he's embraced it too. He doesn't. He knows that he doesn't really take himself too seriously with that now. He's just a big fucking meathead. Not saying he's stupid. So Scotty, if you're out there listening ever, you're not stupid. I love you. You're one of my favorites. You're probably going to be on the showcase episode one of these days. But yeah, TLC, like I was saying, whatever. Don't care. I might tune in if I ain't got shit going on or I'm not too hungover. But other than that, I don't know. I could give a fuck.
I don't give fuck about TLC. Don't give fuck.
I don't give a fuck either. But what I do give a fuck about is I'm really excited to get we got what, 1 or 2 more episodes as I'm dying over here before 2019 hits.
The big 2019.
Yeah.
Big plans for the JP
It's
dub.
that 2019 in the 219.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff that we're planning.
We put the 219 in 2019.
Yeah, that's right. JP Dub. Oh, it's obscene.
2019 is going to be a great year for the JP dub.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to do a lot of things. We're going to work with a lot of people, try to get a lot of stories out to you guys.
Fixins.
Fixins, blessings, trimmings, drippings. Maybe even, if you're not careful, a little bit of jerkins. Go visit Montego Bay and get that Caribbean jerkins.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, man, Teddy, that shit's fire. We got to real shout out, Teddy, even though I know you're not listening. Teddy's like, I don't like wrestling. But all the rest of you guys listening do, and hopefully you like the show. And hopefully you check us out on Twitter at JPW Podcast, and on Instagram at Juice Pro Wrestling, and on Facebook at Juice Pro Wrestling Podcast. And you can even join the JP Woo. What is the JP Woo? Do you dare ask what the fuck the JP Woo is?
It is the JPW Wrestling Universe.
Juice Pro Wrestling Universe! Join it. Share your feelings, your thoughts, your desires.
Hey, what about your shout out to Sabu for the birthday? Getting all those.
Oh, yeah. On Twitter, we're blowing up right now. It's over 300. Yeah, over 300 likes and 50, 60, 70. I don't know how many retweets. I'm not even. Here we go. Since we're on it and we got some video going, we'll look at it right now. Twitter, we got a few more notifications. Oh, my God. Becky, look at that butt. It is so huge and so scrumdiddlyumptious. It's like a bar of scrumdiddlyumptiousness. Okay, here we go.
Where are those tweets?
Those tweets. Oh, my God. Currently, as of right now, this second in time, we are at 34 retweets and 321 likes.
Hey, now.
That's not bad. And we also got Sabu and RVD in that conversation. They're liking some stuff. And the drummer from Orgy. Remember those guys? Tie yourself to me, stitch up my emptiness. It's fucking horrible. But whatever. I like their cover of Blue Monday. New Order. Sue me.
Just sue me.
Yeah, sue me and do it well. You can also check us out on YouTube at jpdub.com. And we're on any podcasting platform. You can also check us out. Go to greendoornetwork.com. And hey, we got plenty to offer you. We got Musically Meditated. We got John G's Fantasy Hustle. We got Gigi Stalin and the Absurdity Junkies. And we also have the Pricks on Flicks. So whether you want football, movies, or just straight weird shit, tune in. The Green Door Network's got it all.
And the Musically
Meditated.
Your boy.
Musically Menstruated.
Our boy.
Yeah, Joe Riley. Hey, you're going to be on the episode, aren't you?
Yeah.
Coming up here.
Coming up. We're going to be talking about Dimebag Daryl.
That's right.
Crazy. It's been that long already. 14 years.
Damn. Time flies, man.
Time flies.
Speaking, if we before we end here, send out our condolences in the pro wrestling world. The last couple weeks, lost a couple of guys, man. First, it was the Dynamite Kid, man. That was kind of a Tom Billington hard pill to swallow. Everybody knows who Dynamite Kid is. I mean, fuck. You want to talk about influential fucking wrestler. I mean, this guy did many stints in Japan, out in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, with Calgary and Stampede Wrestling.
Calgary. Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, remember? From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, coming down the aisle.
And then Lance Storm. I'm Lance
If
Storm.
I could be serious for a minute. Lance Storm, hey, shout out to Front Row Material Podcast. Lance Storm was just on one of their latest episodes. It's Jerry Lynn and Mikey Whipwreck. What up, boys? Yeah. You just totally threw me off what the fuck I was saying. Maybe video wasn't such a good idea.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah. Rip Torn. What a fucked up name. You know, it's kind of redundant. The Dynamite Kid, though, one half of the British Bulldogs.
I'm losing my grits over there. I'm losing my grits.
He's losing his cocoa wheats. What are cocoa wheats, you ask? A delicious malty meal you can make every Saturday morning for your children because you can't afford anything else.
The Juice Pro Wrestling is proudly endorsed by
Malta meal.
Malto Nuts.
For you cheap bastards out there. When those Dems want to take all your paycheck. I'm just silly. I don't want to talk any political shit.
Crazy.
Juice, you crazy. No, but on a serious note, though, Tom Billington, Dynamite Kid, super influential British wrestler. I mean, especially out in the UK scene, and with the way it's breaking out now, probably one of the original like British strong style guys, and a huge influence on a how would you call it, a black sheep of pro wrestling nowadays, Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Benoit was like the reincarnation of Dynamite Kid during his time. I mean, it's uncanny. You could totally see the influence in that. And, you know, not endorsing what Benoit did, obviously, but
not at all.
I mean, the guy was still a great wrestler, so I had to throw that out there. But R.I.P. Yeah, that fucking sucks. Now I'm getting all bummed out, man. Dynamite Kid, he was fucking awesome. His daughter is actually Britt Baker. She's a pro wrestler, and she's with Adam Cole, who's in NXT right now. So, yeah, be sure to follow her on Twitter and check her out. Another one, we lost Larry the Axe Hennig. Or Hennig, as I should say.
Hennig.
Yeah, Hennig. I like to do the Hennig thing, too, you know. I'm just the guy who likes to botch up the world. Yeah, but Larry the Axe, father of one Mr. Perfect. Yeah, we lost him.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Wrestlers die like fucking flies, dude. They just drop all the time.
You know what? I mean,
Larry was older.
He died, you know, after his son, which is a lot harder than.
Yeah. And that's weird. And Curtis Axel, who was Mr. Perfect's son, you know, third generation.
Yeah.
Right there. You know, condolences to all those guys and their families. As much as we like to joke around and have a good fucking time, that shit sucks, you know?
Yeah.
So shout out to all those guys, and we appreciate everything you guys did for the business, and you gave us a lot to talk about and a lot of matches to watch. So, hey, here's to you. Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Salute. On that note, we're going to wet 'em up, wet 'em up, wet 'em up, wet 'em up. Suck my dick. You gonna do sex to me?